Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your first weekly general of 2023 with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So as always, every week I will go into my intuition and ask for a message, and very often this comes out. Some people call it Rafi's sermon, some people have called it like a spiritual coaching message, whatever you call it. It's a message from the all, as I like to call it, and it comes via my intuition to give you a message that kind of flavors this reading. On top of that, as if that wasn't enough, you'll also get an insight into the overarching energies, trends and themes of the week ahead. Now, if you've been with me long enough, you know that these came into being, the weekly general came into being through the community. It was you guys and me. We started to notice little patterns, trends and themes, and so in the end I put together a weekly general, and the rest is history, as they say. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So this week the message that I got, so what I got was, I saw a person and it was like there were these swirling mists that were surrounding them, but rather than it kind of like sort of overwhelming them, it wasn't gloomy or anything. It was like they were pulling or pooling energy inward, right? That's a technique of energy work, as I'm sure many of you know about, and some of you probably don't. Maybe something to do some homework about. When I saw this, what I saw was this kind of like, it was like this just constant pooling of power, pooling of energy. And then at one point, the message that I heard was, when is it enough, right? And this is like anything in our lives. If you don't have an end point or an end goal or an idea of what you're heading towards, very often it's just accumulation for its own sake. All right, so this week you really are being asked, or being let, or the universe is letting us know that you decide what optimal is. So what is your best self, best future, best life, best home, whatever it might be? What is optimal to you? Only you can decide that. And when you decide that, then you will know when enough is enough, whether that's enough money, whether it's enough love, whether it's enough happiness, whether it's enough weight loss, weight gain, like whatever it might be. This week, the way that you start to understand when something is enough is by deciding what optimal is to you. All right, so our destiny card, our overarching energy theme or trend for the week from the Human Design Oracle deck is the Gate 43 and Ahead. I love this card, and as you can see by the big goofy smile on my face. So many of you know Denise Matthews. She's absolutely brilliant at what she does. She is a dynamic human design expert. She actually designed this deck that I use, and so I use it very fondly. She's a wonderful person and a really good friend of mine. She created this deck, and when she was creating the deck, this was the card that she attributed to me. And so whenever I see it, I always get like this really stupid, goofy smile, because I'm like, I know this one. All right, that being said, the Gate 43 and Ahead, the message behind this is, it's like basically this week you are going to come into some sort of knowledge, wisdom, some piece of information that you are getting, but you're getting it ahead of time. You're getting it before it goes big. You're spotting something or someone before they blow up. Now, the message about this card is literally being able to see something and knowing when to strike or when to move. Now, what really underlies all of that is, yes, you can have that knowledge, gain that wisdom, that insight this week, absolutely, but it may not necessarily be the right time to utilize it at this moment in time. So if you get something this week that you think, this is a little bit of an ace up my sleeve, it may not necessarily be the right moment to use this. Save your ammo, or for those of you that are fans of The Witcher, reserve your chaos. I'm just letting my giant geek side out there. So if you know, then you know. But that's really what the message is behind this card. It's about spotting something before it's big and knowing when is the right moment to use it, right? So you decide what optimal is, but more importantly, when is it enough? So for your direction cards. How do we best tap into this, or what do we need to look out for? We've got the Sun card. It comes through your joy, through your ultimate self-expression and authenticity. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, so through genuinely looking after and nurturing and nourishing yourself. And the Six of Cups, this is about reconnecting to a past or a part of yourself where you were at your optimal. But the way that you get back there is not through the hard work and the slogging it out. It's actually through the fun, through the joy, through the enjoyment. Now, the Queen of Pentacles can represent an earth sign woman. So this could literally be you reconnecting with an earth sign woman, or an earth sign person comes back into your world. They are probably going to be instrumental in this piece of information kind of clicking to you. Pay attention to, and you know, it's said that it's a rare person that can learn from the happy times in their lives, right? If you ask anyone and you say to them, you know, what's the thing that taught you the most? They'll be like, yeah, I remember this time, this happened, I got dumped, I got fired, I got da-da-da-da-da-da, all the bad stuff, right? We all remember those because they hurt. It's very rare that a person can stop and say, wow, my life is amazing at the moment. What am I learning from it at this moment in time? Now, these cards basically say that this week is actually going to be a pretty great week. It's going to be a really nice week. And through those moments of fun, pleasure, enjoyment, and connection and reconnection for some of us, there are going to be moments where the universe is kind of saying, pay attention, little one, because this is a message for you to take forward. You're going to have to be vigilant this week on the stuff that really makes you feel good, and in the situations or connected to the people that are really giving you that that inner glow, right? That inner glow, that inner buzz. It could be as well for those of you that have had problems, challenges, or issues with siblings. This might be a week where you are burying a hatchet in some way, shape, or form. So that's really nice. Anytime the Sun card shows up, we're having an easier time of it. So I'm totally here for this. Now, in terms of how we utilize these, in terms of using the Six of Cups, this is about going through the memory banks to ask yourself, when were things at their optimal and how do I get back there again? There's going to be some conversation or reconnection this week that's likely to trigger that for us. On the wider world stage, this could literally be that we are hearing about a celebrity or a big person having a pregnancy. What's special about this is that they're probably having twins. I just want to say as well to all of you that send me messages, emails, like some of you slide into my DMs and you're like, oh my gosh, you said this was going to happen. Here's the article. This is what's going on. I love that you guys do that. It really does mean a lot. One, it shows me that I'm on the right path. Two, it shows me that you guys are really connecting. And three, it shows us all that, you know, whether it's me delivering the message or another reader, there's definitely something going on here. For our insight cards, what do we need to be aware of that is coming around the corner, or that we might not be aware of at this moment in time? Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Look at that, right? With the Moon card. Okay. So there's a lot of past energies in these cards with the Six of Swords. So for those of you that are traveling, specifically on, over, or by water this week, you are going to have not only a really great time, the Sun agrees too, not only are you going to have a really great time, but you will also be gaining knowledge and wisdom or insight by going over past ideas, past plans, anything that has an element to it of you going over something that you've already done. And the reason I say this is because the Six of Cups is the past. But the Moon card is also the past. But you've got the Moon card with the Ace of Cups. So for those of you that have been trying for a long time to get pregnant, this is probably going to be one of those weeks where it is very possible. It will also suggest as well that whatever you are combing through over what's already passed, like, you know, sometimes when you meet up with friends and you start reminiscing about the past, you might end up seeing something in a vastly different light to how you saw it previously. And it could be actually maybe not necessarily lucrative straight away, but it could be a really useful piece of information or an insight of some kind that really shows you sort of like, yes, well, look how far I've advanced beyond that. Now, many of you, I know, I can hear you. There's 2 6s. Yes, there is. What is 2 6s? It represents irritability or balance, usually. In this spread, because it is so warm, it is so bright, it is so light, it definitely represents balance. And so there's a chance here for us to, you can never rewrite your history, but you can write your present and therefore your future much differently than it would have been if you continue to look through the guise of the past. So this week it's like you're balancing out the shadows of your past or your previous life. You're taking the gems, the nuggets of wisdom, you're applying them now, and that way it literally changes your future. So this could be a really exciting week. Pay attention to what comes up. For those of you that have had problems or issues around health and or toxicity within the body, this week you could have some kind of a breakthrough. And I'm talking to those particularly who have had problems with blood, problems with the hormone system, anything like that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving medical advice, I'm certainly not diagnosing anything, but I know what I see when I see it in my cards. With that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.